Our children learned that you don't just take stuff laying down. If you care about something and you fight for it, that you can win. But the whole thing started in 1990 when Toronto put out requests for proposals of what to do with their garbage because they were running out of landfill space. So, and all kinds of crazy schemes were put forward. But and Terry and I and Fran Patterson and Sue Schultz gathered up a whole bunch of garbage, put it in our car, and we drove down to Toronto. And at that time, Alan Tonks was the regional chair of the municipality of Toronto. We managed, he thought we were proponents. So he gave us a meeting. And there we walked into the office with all these garbage bags. And there was a reporter from, I think it was City TV, who got wind of it and followed us in. So that was the beginning, really. But then things kind of got quiet, you know, for the mid 90s. I mean, things were happening behind the scenes, I'm sure.
For Temiskaming First Nations, I always kept an eye on what was going on with it, but I always figured that it was never going to happen. It would never happen. It just made no sense.
No.
And I felt, okay, well, we'll let them handle it and they'll put a stop to it. I was approached, I think it was by Fran, and Pierre had come over to see me.
Oh.
And I think Terry did as well. And said, look, there's a really good chance that it's going to go through. And that's when we decided to embark on this. And because it was getting dangerous. It was getting dangerous. And that was our traditional lands.
Yes. By early 2000, it was obvious that Toronto had decided that this was going to be their best option. Oh, no, it's going to happen.
I think for me, the most important thing was how we all came together. There was no border issue. Like, we were all on the same team. And I think that lasted for a long time. It's still talked about, and we still feel the results of that when we did come together. We had an amazing team. I think that was the most important thing to me on how, by being together, we could accomplish things.
Everybody was giving 100%, maybe even more. You know, even people who might normally have been on opposite sides of an issue, you know, environmentalists, you know, farmers, that it didn't matter anymore. We just focused on stopping the project.
That was a role that Indigenous people play about protecting the water.
I know every night, Terry was on the phone with Chuck for at least an hour, strategizing. That was kind of creepy when the blockade, actually, when the police came down that road with all their riot gear. And
exactly.
And you remember, Charlie, he had picked up Lola and went and walked along them and apparently said, here, you know, this is what it looks like when the police don't like what you're doing. Our children learned that you don't just take stuff laying down. If you care about something and you fight for it, that you can win. And then all the miners, that the retired miners that worked in the mine and came out and said, hey, look, that's a fractured piece of property there, and everything's just going to leach right into the water table. There were miners, there were geologists, all different, you know, lawyers, doctors. The doctors were so against it too. It was quite the coalition. We even got David Suzuki to say it was a bad idea.
If I had to do it all over again, we'd do it, that's for sure. But you know, back on it and I wonder where the heck did we get the energy and the strength
I know. I know. It was
to
like
go.
it
Like,
was like we were superhuman, and it didn't matter. Like as soon as the blockade ended, and that wonderful Thanksgiving dinner, remember that?
yeah,